All right. And I think we are live already. All right. Are we live? Let's change the view here. Hello, gallery. I think I wanted to go side by side, but we'll see how it comes out. Okay. Hello there out there on Facebook. This is Mary Fulton with Mary Fulton Fit, and we have been celebrating women and in March, and it's still March, and also celebrating women small business owners. And so today we have a special guest. We have Miss Meena out here with us. Meena, say your last name again for me.
Ithal.
Ithal, awesome. So perfect, we're side by side. So Meena Ithal is here, and she's going to be sharing a little bit about herself and her journey as a small business owner and kind of how it started, where she's at, and also what she does. And so we've got Maggie on here with us and a couple other people. So awesome. I'm going to let you take over, Meena, and start sharing your story with us. So tell us a little bit about you and like where you're from and your journey.
All right, definitely. So I, again, am Meena Ithal, and I'm a holistic life coach, and I'm also a classroom teacher. So I teach elementary schoolers during the day. And actually right now I'm teaching online. So I really
To those
appreciate it.
teachers out there, you guys are amazing. You're my heroes right now.
And so I, again, appreciate this opportunity. And first of all, I'd like to start with how I met Mary Fulton. And so one day my gym was closed. I live in Connecticut. And when my gym closed, that was like really my sanctuary, as you all know, having a gym or having a community, a like-minded community is so important. And so when my gym closed, and I was like, what am I going to do? Because that was something that really helped me. So I ended up going on YouTube and ended up just searching, because I was into the Les Mills, the body pump. And so I kept searching, and I'm like, I'm not finding anything really great. And I kept searching and searching and searching, and there were things that were there, but some of them were in different languages. And so then I ended up finding you with There's Something About Mary Fulton, and I
Yeah.
did a few of your workouts, and then I think there was a song that I really liked, and so and I messaged you, and I was like, what is this name of the song? Because every time I like a song, I have to either Shazam it so I can like find out what it is. And so then that's how we connected. And then you ended up starting Mary Fulton Fit, and I kept following you that way.
Yay. I'm so glad that we met, and you have been just like an awesome cheerleader for me. I just want you to know that. Like, you're always sending me like kudos and just like cheering me on. And I really appreciate that, because sometimes it's not even like, your best friends cheering you on. It's like a complete stranger that doesn't know you. You live in Connecticut, and you
Definitely.
really, on days where maybe I wasn't sure I was helping somebody or changing somebody's life, and getting a message like from you really meant a lot to me. And so you touched my heart too. So thank you for, being my cheerleader in a lot of times where maybe I wasn't sure of myself if I could do it. And so just so you know, you impacted my life by taking a moment of your life to just send me a message, and it really helped me. So thank you, Meena.
Oh, thank you. And
Thank you. Thank you.
business owners, we need to do that, support each other. So I
Yeah.
a lot to me to hear that too. And
Yeah.
so my journey started, I started in fourth grade. I've always wanted to be a classroom teacher since fourth grade. And throughout my years in school, I'm like, I'm going to be a classroom teacher. This is what I'm going to do. I wanted to teach elementary school students. So fast forward to when I started my career as a classroom teacher in 2003. No, 2004, I started my career as a classroom teacher.
Me
And
too.
oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. 2004. That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah. So when I started, I was working as a preschool teacher, preschool special ed. And even then, that first year, I was told that this isn't the right fit for you, classroom, being a preschool teacher. And my principal said, why don't you try another grade level? So I tried she tried to get me into a different grade level, and it didn't
Sure.
end up panning out because it was a small district. And so throughout my years, I've tried different experiences, I've tried different positions. And my biggest struggle was that I was all constantly scrutinized by classroom, or not classroom teachers, but principals and supervisors. I would be called to the office a lot of times. And as a child, you don't want to be called to the office, but then as a classroom teacher,
Adult, you don't want to be called to the office.
definitely not. And as a professional, as a teacher, you're like, why are you being called to the office? As soon as you get that call from your classroom saying, Meena, we need you to come to the office from the secretary, you get like a pit in your stomach because you're wondering, is it going to be something good or is it something negative? And so I've had sporadic experiences for on and off for 11 years that caused me anxiety. It caused me to shut out the world. And I was the type of person who some people sleep not don't sleep enough, and I would oversleep because I wanted to shut out the world. I didn't want to think about going back to work every day and being scrutinized. So I was the type of person who would keep hitting snooze over and over and over. So I don't know, some of this.
It sounds like you were at a place with your work where, well, you didn't feel appreciated for all the hard work you were doing. And so being a teacher or being in any work, right? Like, it's nice to know that you're valued and, you know, you're appreciated for all the hard work you're putting into that. So, so going through that probably made you grow and change a lot. So what was the next step for you? What happened? Did you decide what was the next thing?
What ended up happening is after going through this, and I was not eating enough. I was constantly complaining and crying a lot, having panic attacks driving into work, and calling my mother as my safety net, and calling her and person I vented to. And several times she's like, I'm sick of hearing you complain. So fast forward to 2015, I had one more experience where I was scrutinized constantly and I didn't enjoy it. I had a pit in my stomach. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish out this year and I'm going to enroll in a social work program. So I enrolled in a social work program for the following year. So that was actually, it was 2014-15 school year, and 2015 September is when I enrolled in the program. I was like, this is it. I'm going to leave teaching and try the social work avenue, see if it's the right fit. But then 3 weeks into it, I was like, what am I doing? I was failing. Professors weren't getting back to me on support that I needed. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I ended up quitting the program and ended up one day I had a massage therapy session with my massage therapist. And she's like, you know what, Meena? Because I was trying to find like what was the right fit. And she's like, why don't you talk to this life coach? And she's like, she's a previous teacher. She left teaching and she's like, she might help you. And so one of the things I remember, I was like, I'm going to try anything because I was like, I need to get out of this funk. I need to find what aligns with me essentially. So I ended up giving her a call, and I remember the call on the phone, and she said, do you want to keep staying stuck? And I was like, absolutely not. So after that, I enrolled in her program, and I did it on and off for 2 years. And what was the actual turning point, which she helped me to gain clarity and realize I better with small groups. So then that December, I enrolled in a special ed certification program after having 2 other certifications. And so the turning point though was one day I saw her at Whole Foods and she had so much joy on her face. She was just with her daughter and I asked her, what are you doing? Later on, and she's like, we're just, my husband and I are having a night at home. We're having a date night, but at home. And she had so much joy. And as I'm driving home, I just kept thinking about that. I'm like, that joy in her face. And then I don't know if it was a few days later or weeks later, I had like this aha moment. I woke up and I'm like, what are you doing to yourself? And I was like, you got to live each day like just love life now, essentially.
I love it. So I'm going to pause you for a second and ask some of our friends that are out there. I see there's 7 of you guys out there. Thanks for joining us. And just to get a little participation with you guys, have you ever been in a job where you felt this way, or in a situation where you felt stuck, like she said, and that life coach kind of helped her in that turning point of, do you want to be stuck or do you want to be unstuck, right? And a lot of times when we've gone to school for a certain career, or we spent so much money or time and invested in it, it's hard for us to break away from that old career or that identity that we had. But I love the story because you made some changes, you pivoted, which led you to the next phase that you're going to share. But any of you guys out there, give me a heart if you've ever been driving home from work and felt like her, just frustrated, crying, not happy in your position. And so that's why we have Meena on today to like share her story, and all of these women of small businesses that have been here with us, because including myself, because I just want us to know that we do have that power to dream big, to make pivots that we need to make, and maybe change our career or where we're at in our path, even if it's not business related. Maybe it's other things in your life that you need to make changes for, but it can happen, and you can live that life that you really want to live. Like, you don't have to stay stuck. So keep going, Meena. Tell us. We've got some hearts out there. Send us hearts if you can relate, and or maybe you're there right now. And I want you to listen in to Meena's story, because like, God's brought us all together for a reason, and this whole small women's businesses and everything, and I hope will inspire you wherever you are on your journey right now. So this is speaking to you right now. So go, Meena, finish your story.
So fast forward, like around that time that happened, where I had that aha moment, my first life coach, she said to me, I could see you being a life coach. And I'm like, not really. It doesn't entice me. I don't want to go back to school or do any sort of training. And I kind of on and off looked at it a little bit. And then I was like, you know what? I could do this. So I looked at her program, and it was not something I was interested in because it was out of state and it was more online. And then I found something that really aligned with me, and it was kept, how when Facebook, sometimes when you're looking at something or you're thinking about something, Facebook just has a way where you'll see ads and you're like, I just talked about that, or I just was telling someone about this. So I kept seeing this ad for this yoga studio in Connecticut, and they were like holistic life coach training. And I was like, I did a retreat there, and the woman, and my family's from India, so and I was born in Connecticut, but the woman has gone to India, the one who does the life coach training. And I was like, this is it. It aligned with me. It felt right. And I was talking to my life coach, and she's like, if it feels right, you got to do it. And I ended up doing it, and then ended up starting, this was 2019, ended up starting my business, which is Love Life Now Coaching, and as a holistic life coach. And what I really want women to know is that you can really find your path and where you need to be, because it could look different for everybody. And so what I do, and it took me some pivots in my business, because I first started out just helping people with their career. Then I was helping people with career and starting businesses. And then I was like, you know what? It could be anything. It could be your health. It could be your finances. It could be just getting your relationships in order. And it's really what I do is help you to get into alignment so that you can be your true self, and you'll know what path you need to take. And I help you to discover ultimately your passions and purposes, or passion and purpose, not purposes, so that you can love your life. So, like for me, once I had that aha moment, I realized that my purpose is in this life is to live with joy. And when things aren't bringing me joy, I tend to question it and be like, why isn't it bringing me joy? And through that, I learned I do better with small groups of students. So last year I was working as a reading teacher at small groups. And then when the pandemic hit, my principal said, do you want to teach online? And I was like, okay, I'll be up for the challenge. But I wouldn't have been able to do that without that support of having a rock solid mindset where I was through coaching.
Yes.
So
Awesome. I love it. So I just love your story, because it is about pivot and change and about trying something new. But then you did go back to some teaching too, which I think is great, because you do have a love for teaching. But what I heard you say too was that you realize that a large group isn't necessarily the best fit for you. So a smaller group, teaching in a smaller group setting is better. And I love that, because you know what? Teaching is really dynamic, and leading a giant class of kindergartners versus a giant class of high schoolers is very different. Different personalities, different skill, talent to do those things. And so, yeah, and some of us work better in small groups, then others work better in the big power groups, right? The masses. And also, like, as you develop and get older, and like, sometimes things that worked for you when we were younger changes, and it's different as we get older too, right?
Yeah, definitely. And as we learn and we grow, we tend to pivot and change, and we could end up pivoting and changing in our life or business or career in any facet. And
Yeah.
it's okay. And we got to do, I firmly believe we are in control of our life. So I always talk about it with clients or potential clients, like you're in the driver's seat and you can either swerve like a drunk driver essentially, and that's when you're out of control, or you can sail smoothly. And when there's detours, you can end up taking those detours because life isn't perfect, but you always get back on the road when you're in alignment.
Yeah.
And for me, it took me so long to realize what works for me and what doesn't. And when I finally figured out what works, I'm like, aha, that's what I need to do.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, like, I mean, my story, I was a school teacher, and then 10 years ago we lost our jobs around here because of the market crash. And my identity was very much in being a school teacher. Like, I was crying. I didn't know what I was going to do. I ended up staying home with my kids, which was great. And I started right away, like probably just, I mean, like right off the bat, before I even lost my job, teaching a workout class, took it to the playground, took it to another studio. I actually had a business back 10 years ago. It was called the Turbo Studio.
Oh,
By
I didn't know that.
It didn't necessarily pan out the way I thought it would. I ended up just deciding it was a lot of like it was going to take a lot more work, and I only had one certification. I didn't have the knowledge yet to be where I am today. So, but what I want to say about that is that I pivoted into that. 24 ended up teaching me all these great things, and I like stayed there for the last 10 years. And now I'm doing stuff on my own again. And it's really cool to see, though, that what I tried 10 years ago wasn't that it wasn't right. I learned a ton. It just wasn't maybe the right moment quite yet. I needed a little more time to gain some skill and knowledge, and that's led me to here. But that wasn't a failure 10 years ago. That was a building block to let me know you can do this. You just need a few more things, and then we're going to get back to this. So it's all learning, and I think definitely realizing that none of the things that you do are failures. They're really just like building blocks and a foundation for the next thing you're going to do. Is what I've learned in the last.
And I tell my own students, or potential clients or clients that I've had, I always tell them, take it one step at a time. And I work with first and second grade students, and so I say, take it one step at a time, really, and tell yourself you can do this.
I love
that. If you put your mind to it, you might have stumbling blocks around along the way, just like Mary, you talk about your trials and tribulations you go through. We all go through it in life and in business and career, whatever facet. But you have to really take one step in front of the other and keep going. And I often talk about it like the rungs of a ladder. We start small, but then we have to work our way up, and we just keep working. And sometimes we might need support from others, and that's okay if we need the support from others, and we just keep moving forward.
I love that. So out there, what do you guys want to know about Meena? So Meena is a life coach, and for many of you, maybe right now is a good time to think about a life coach, or we have one right here live with us right now. So what questions, what programming do you have to offer, so people will know what's that look like? Like, is it like on calls, virtual, in person? You're in Connecticut, my people are around here, but How does that work? Are they like, can you tell us a little bit more about your programming so my friends can know? And if you guys have questions, put them in the chat box.
Yeah, definitely. So I have currently, I'm pivoting to do a 3-month program just because I was currently doing a 6-week program, but I found that wasn't enough time to see growth. And
Okay.
so a 3-month program is weekly calls or bi-weekly, depending how you want to do it. And if it's bi-weekly, it would be more than 3 months. It would end up being the 6 months. And what it is, it's through Zoom and it's 1-hour sessions, and it's the program is called the Align Your Life Mentorship. And so it's really to get you into alignment to where you want to be, to discover again your passions, your purposes, your purpose, and then really to love your life. And what I do, similar to Mary, how you do the mind, body, soul approach. And I call it the mind, body, spirit. So it's all holistic. And we go over all areas of your life. And I look at areas of your life to see where the holes are. And I kind of talk with you in the first session to see and ask you questions to see where you are in your life, kind of rank yourself on a scale of 0 being like, this is really not like, I'm not the best in this area of my life, say for health, for example, you feel like you're a 1 or 2 or 3, and 10 being like, I got this. This is the area of my life that I'm really good at. And in life coaching, there's about 8 different areas. And so we go through the holistic approach. So I see what areas are you needing more support? And I go 1 or 2 areas at a time to get you to where you want to be. And so what I use is a method called the Align Your Life method. And it's a 4-step method that I use with my clients. So it gets you from where you are now to where you want to be. And so within that process, it includes, determining what areas you're struggling with. It includes accountability. It also includes what's holding you back, and then goals and action steps so that you're really getting the most out of it. And the goals and action steps are very attainable goals and action steps. And each session, we talk about, okay, what's not working, what's working. And it's goals and action steps that are aligned to you, because it's all about alignment. If something doesn't feel right, you're not going to do it, or you're not going to sustain it. So for example, I had a client who actually from California, and she wanted to get into the more health coaching. I mean, not health coaching. She wanted to get more into health. So, and she wanted to do exercise. So I said, why don't you try this gym that is offering free classes and try that? And then I think she tried a bunch of other things. Nothing was really working. She tried walking. And then she's found out going on the Nintendo Wii, doing Zumba was the best thing for her. And yeah. So it's all about finding.
Different until you find it. I love that.
Find what works for you, and that's what I help you to do, because sometimes you do need mentors. And I've since 2015, when I started with my life coach, I've worked with 3 other, and a total of 3 coaches. One is a business coach, but she does a lot with mindset, and then the one who trained me in life coaching, I've worked with her. So I firmly believe that it's no shame to have a coach.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, we call people coaches now, but like back in the old days, if you're struggling, you talk to your grandma.
Yeah.
You talk to the lady before you, talk to the lady down the street. And, people were more outside and talking with each other and working through their problems. We all have issues. We don't all have it together. We're all struggling with things and things within ourselves that we, sometimes just need to like talk through, work through. And sometimes we just need to get our scattered brains and like put it down and have somebody ask us those mindful questions that are going to help us, really take that seed and make it grow. Mm-hmm. So I think that's amazing. Do you guys have any questions for Meena about her programming? Love to help you guys. I also put in the comments her business link and everything, so you guys can reach out to her if you're interested in knowing more about her coaching. She also has a Facebook group, right?
Yeah, I have a Facebook group, and it's called Love Life Now Community. So
I love
it. Love Life, just Love Life Now Coaching. It's Love Life Now Community.
Oh, that's awesome.
I go live in that community. I actually am very into the inspirational card pulls. So sometimes I'll do inspirational card pulls and just give you a message. And a lot of times the women are like, wow, I needed to hear this. So
What's an inspirational card pull? Can you
what I do, it's kind of like the tarot cards, but I don't believe in the tarot cards. So I just do like affirmation cards and I just shuffle them and pull them and then give like an inspirational message
Oh, that's cool.
into that. And
Did you bring any today?
actually, I have some right here.
Yeah.
I think, let me grab it. Yeah. So I have some here. For
Oh, those are cool. So they're just like devotional, like positive. Okay.
example, these are more, the ones from Lord Ganesha, which is me being Hindu. And I'm not really overly religious Hindu, but
Okay.
Ganesha is a god of overcoming obstacles. So these are one of my favorite.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it's those kind.
Just shuffle them, and then whatever comes out or whatever comes on top, I like relay the message. Like, for example, this one's empowerment. So I talk about that as a, and I read the message.
Like just kind of like, yeah, just like positive messages. I love
positive messages, because that's another thing that I'm really into, affirmations. And so that's something that I do with my clients, create like positive affirmations. So they're doing positive self-talk, because it's so important to do positive self-talk. So for example, like yesterday I was doing a TikTok, or not TikTok, a reel, Instagram reel, and Mary was so kind to help me with like the logistics. And I was having to do positive self-talk affirmation, saying, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this.
Yes. I do that all the time with lots of things, for sure. Especially when you're learning something new, you know, you're trying a new workout, or you're learning something with technology. It can be so frustrating, right?
Yeah,
but the first time's always the hardest, and then it gets easier with everything. Do you guys have any questions for Meena? I'm so happy you guys joined us live today, and we put your all your stuff in the comments so you guys can reach out. Do you have any like last words you want to share with them? And then I want to close with something too before they go.
Yeah, no, I think the biggest thing is, again, never be afraid to ask for help, because that's how you can grow and be your best self. And if, for me, if I didn't reach out or get recommended to seek a life coach support, and I've tried therapy before, and no, not bashing therapy, but for me, it didn't work for me because it was just talk. But with life coaching, I really found that it really helped you, or helped me to achieve my goals quicker, because it was goal oriented. So never feel afraid to find someone, whether it's me, someone else, that aligns with you, that can really help you and support you to reach your goals if you're feeling stuck or frustrated, or you're feeling like you don't know the direction you want to take in your life, because it's okay to reach out for support.
I love that. Yes. Yes. And I love that. And I'm glad that we're finishing with you the month of March. I can't believe it. March is like almost over, and just with women. And, you know, I just think all of you women that are on here, and men, everybody, you know, just celebrating so many amazing women out there. You know, every woman, whether you have a platform or you don't, you're at home scrubbing the floors every day. Man, I know what that feels like. Just picking up after the kids during COVID and just feeling like so tired. Just know that you are special, you're unique, you're amazing, you have gifts. And however you're sharing them, maybe you're just sharing them at home with your, you know, your family, your friends, or maybe you're on a big platform sharing them, but share your light and your love, and you know, keep dreaming big. That's something that I keep thinking about, like step out of fear, just jump in. These are the things I've learned, like step out in faith, and like not live in fear. Fear is not from God. Fear is from the enemy. I truly believe that. So there's nothing to be fearful of. Of course, you want to be cautious and think about things, but fear doesn't come from like any light. Like it's dark, and it keeps you from being who you need to be. And then the thing I'm learning right now, number one, is like ask. You never know until you ask.
Definitely.
You just don't. And like I've been like asking lately, and things are happening, and I'm like, oh, I just had to ask. I didn't even know. So don't be scared to ask. Ask for help. ask for a hand, tell somebody, hey, I'm doing this. Like, what do you think? You just don't know what doors are going to open for you. Don't be scared to ask. It's not a bad thing to ask. And just kind of to end before we go, so a lot of you have been asking me to help you with your nutrition. Some of you are like, no, I didn't. Well, so my next month challenge is going to be on nutrition and health and eating healthy and having a good relationship with your food. So my group is called Emma Fuel Your Body, and we're going to be using these awesome little containers to help us learn more about our portions and our food groups and fueling our body to feel healthy. This is not a diet for yo-yoing. And also I said to my platform today, a lot of people, someone said to me, actually, Sexy Alicia said, I think people are probably scared, Mary. Like, they're scared. They'll let you work out with them, but they don't maybe want you to know what they're eating, or they're scared of this. And I thought, oh my gosh, you're right. And so I just want to come to you right now and say, there's nothing to be fearful of. I've done lots of diets since I was a little girl, kind of watching my sister do a lot of diets. I did a lot of not good ones, and had a really bad relationship with food myself, shaming myself for eating things, feeling like I had to just immediately work out because I ate something. And I really feel like at 41, and over the course of the last 6 years, I've developed a better relationship with food. You know, it's my fuel, what makes my body feel better. And sometimes it is a double from In-N-Out, and it feels great. And there's no reason to feel shame for that. You know, other times it is, you know, my spinach salad that's making my body feel better and clean. So in this group, I'm going to coach you. For 30 days, I'm going to help you, guide you to plan and prepare. And at the end, everybody has different goals. There may be somebody, you know, I always think I have my nutritional certification, and it's like a hierarchy, right? Of, you know, you've got level 1 where, you know, maybe you don't even eat any vegetables. So that's like number 1. You're going to start eating more vegetables. It's not me taking anything from you. It's more me giving you more food to eat. And, you know, a level 2 is going to be somebody who's probably already learning how to plan and prepare their foods. A level 3 is going to be someone who is cutting back on things, like saying, I'm going to cut back on these foods. And a level 4 is going to be those competitors, you know, the bodybuilder guys and girls that, you know, that's probably not anybody in our group, you know. So I just want you to know that it is kind of like a scaffold and a pyramid. Most of us are never going to go to level 4. There's just no reason for it unless you're going in a competition, right, Meena? And then, you know, so you probably are going to land somewhere between 1 and 3. And so I just want to help guide you. It's going to be super supportive, and you get these awesome containers. So just go to my shop and click it and buy it today. Stop holding back. Go today and get it. Meena's going to join us. She's going to give coaching tips, right, Meena? Come on, Meena. So anyways, that's my last plugin. So make sure you sign up for Emma Fuel Your Body, and then check out Meena's coaching site. I keep pointing up because on my screen you're up here, but over here you're to the side. So check out her site, and if you guys need a life coach, she's the best. So we're excited. Thank you so much for being on our platform today. Yay!
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much. So we always do our little cheer when we're done working out, and so it's mind, body, and soul. Do you want to do it with us? So we always go stronger together. We say mind, and then we go body, and then we do soul, the heart, and my logo. Yay. Thanks, Meena. God bless you. We so appreciate you. Okay. We will see you soon. Thanks so much. Bye, guys. Thanks for supporting us, and we will see you tomorrow for some workouts. We'll see you there, Meena. All right. Bye.